the next level. So long story short, I worked hard. I worked as hard as I could. I was at Teller for about 8 months. I was personal banker. I did private banking. And again, like I said to you, I ran my first branch at the age of 24. I did 2 branches in the Bronx, 2 branches in Westchester, and then I came to Carver Bank. So why am I telling you all this? I'm telling you all this because I know that in your travels, while you're here at school, you're probably going through the same thing that I'm going through. You'll probably have a lot of naysayers, a lot of people that's telling you what you can and can't do. A lot of people might have laughed at you. How many people got laughed at when they said they was going to cosmetology school? Anybody? Anybody got laughed at? Okay. Oh, yeah. Yep. How many people have a plan B? Like how many people say, you know what, if this doesn't work out, I got something lined up that I'm going to do later. Okay. Always good to have a plan B. Okay. So C and D. So what I'm going to talk to you about, right? So y'all might not like me after I say this, is that it's never good to have a plan B. One, and I'll tell you why in a second. Plan Bs are never good. Never. I don't care who told you they were good. I don't care who said you should have one. Whoever told you that, it was wrong, right? And this is why plan Bs aren't good. So when I got to the position where I was like, you know what, I want to teach financial literacy. I want to go around and write a book. I want to be an author. I have all this. I want to have my own finance show. I want to do all that stuff. A lot of people looked at me like I was crazy, right? Because they're like, Ash, you're 30, I just turned 30 in October. They said, Ash, you're 30 years old, you know, I'm doing pretty well for myself, bought my first house at 26 years old, you know, I have a young daughter, two-year-old daughter, and everybody's like, you're crazy. Why would you leave something so permanent, like you run a bank? Why would you leave a bank to go do something that everybody else is doing, right? And I said, because my intuition told me I had to do it. I couldn't explain it though. I couldn't tell you why I left the bank. Just something inside said, you do not need to be here. And like it was tugging at me. It was like, you do not need to be here. So I said to myself, you know what, all right, cool. So I'm gonna follow my heart, I'm gonna follow my intuition. So I started thinking about plan B. I started saying to myself, you know what? You know, if this doesn't work, I got a great resume. I could always go back. Or, you know, I've been managing. I could go to retail. I could do this. I could do that, right? But there's 3 words that I took out of my vocabulary, which is try, can't, and hope, right? The reason why I took those out of my vocabulary, because when you try something, that means it's a 50% chance, right? So if I said, you know, are you going to do X, Y, Z for me, and you say I'm going to try, that means there's a chance that you will do it, and there's a chance that you won't do it. So automatically you're counting yourself out. You're just giving yourself 50% chance, right? Can't, of course, obviously, because that means you're telling yourself that something's impossible, and I don't believe that. I believe anything is possible. And if you're hoping for something, you're not really saying that you can do it. It's like a wish. It's like you're going to sit there and hope that you can make things happen. So I had it in my mindset that I was, okay, I can do this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And I had this plan B. But what I was doing, I was setting myself up. Because if I say to myself that if this doesn't work out, I'm going to go back to the bank. Or if this doesn't work out, I'm going to get a position at a retail shop. So automatically, I'm already telling myself, I'm not giving my full focus 100% into what I'm supposed to be doing, right? So that's why plan Bs aren't good. That's why you don't need a plan B, because technically, what you're telling yourself is that, you know what? Before you even get out there, you're telling yourself that it might not work out. This might not be the right thing, right? And no is just yes to a different question, though. So if you want something bad enough, if you want it, it doesn't matter what it takes to get it. So if you really want to be in cosmetology, if you really want to own your own salon, or whatever you really want to do, if you go after it, if you hit that roadblock, it doesn't mean to stop. It means you either knock the roadblock down or you go around it. But you got to figure it out. Because if you give yourself a way out, you're not going to be successful, because already mentally you're telling yourself that there's a possibility I will fail by having plan B.